45 years back I'm talking. This place used to be buzzing with thick crowds, mostly to the students of Calcutta University, the Presidency College, the Medical College, and other institutions close by. Some 40 years down the line, I am here, a real nostalgic moment for me. It is a good idea that Ukiyoto is relocating here. This is an area where you find hundreds and thousands of publications, and being amidst it, it's a different feeling altogether. Ukiyoto is an upcoming publishing house, as we all know, and it provides us full support to authors and writers in publishing their books and other literary works. Even those who are unable to get their works published at a cost can find support here. Ukiyoto is acclaimed internationally and have held literary meets internationally, like in Philippines, the USA, and several cities in India. In January this year, I had the opportunity of attending one of the programs in Boichitra Park in Calcutta, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm sure that all of you will find this platform worthy and choiceable. With its international network, we can hope our publications to reach far and wide to different countries and continents. I wish Ukiyoto and its team success in days to come. And I'm telling you, Ukiyoto, when you really become big, please do not forget to share the pleasure with us. My sincere thanks to the Ukiyoto team for having me here, and to all those who could make it to this event today. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
এখানে মঞ্চে উপস্থিত প্রতিটি লেখক লেখিকাদের মাঝে নিজের মনোভাবটা প্রকাশ করা ইটস আ হিউজ অনার ফর মি, and especially while I'm sharing this delightful ambience of the iconic performance. I mean, it's iconic in true sense as from time to time it has been visited by various dignitaries of Indian cinema, Indian literature, and our Indian freedom fighters even like Satyajit Ray, we have Shomitra Chattopadhyay, and even Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. To introduce myself, I am Annapurna Devnath, and I am presently pursuing my honours degree in psychology from Kochi Memorial Girls College. When I know that psychology and history, they share a huge gap, but my book Saffron Chronicles of Uttar Pradesh, which is being recently published by Ukiyoto, bridges the gap between the two. So, Ronald, who is the protagonist of my novel, is a bright young psychologist from Calcutta who deeply loves history and art, and she is a dutiful daughter as well. And when she is invited to speak at a seminar in Allahabad University, she is excited to explore Uttar Pradesh as we all know that. Since time immemorial, Uttar Pradesh has been a hub of culture in Indian history. So as a Bengali, Ronald's connection to her roots is strong. Along her journey, she meets amazing women with inspiring stories, like from a housewife who loves fire painting, and fire painting is basically a traditional form of Rajasthani painting, to a widow who sells diyas, and even a classical singer who is facing life's challenges, and each encounter leaves a mark on Ronald. So, after returning to Calcutta, my main character Ronald, she integrates a passion for art and history into her work as a psychologist, and using art therapy to help her clients in her chamber. And with the help of friendly locals like autowalas and boatmen, Ronald learns about each area's rich history and culture, like she visits Allahabad to Mathura. So, Ronald also lends a compassionate ear to a young man who is battling depression, offering him a medical support. And as Ronald immerses herself in the history and culture of the places she visits, she comes to realize that the true essence of the place lies in the stories of its people. So these stories, which are passed on through generations, they offer insights to they offer the insights that textbooks can never capture. And she understands that history is not just about the dates and events. It's about the lived experiences of those who call a place their home. And so this is basically my debut novel. And apart from this, I'm a published poet as well. And my first book of poems, January of 2017, it was published in 2020 when the world was caged by the pandemic. And I was just 16 back then. So, our Lekha literary journey, it actually started when I was in class 2 and I used to scribble a lot at the back end of my rough copies. And then when I was in class 5, I still remember my mom had taken me to the book fair and we came across a stall selling those Kindle tabs. My mom had asked me to buy one for myself. And she also told me that I could read any book on it. So the first question that I asked was, will they ever sell my book? So obviously my mom laughed at me and said that জানিস কতটা রিডিং হ্যাবিট লাগে নিজের বই এরকম একটা জায়গায় দেখতে হলে. So I stayed quiet on that day. But today I can proudly say that my books, my babies, they are available on the same Amazon Kindle tab. And in the same book fair next year, my English translation for a Bengali novel, Bhamari Cotton, which has been written by my Bengali teacher, Dr. Kakuri Bhattacharjee, it will be launched in the Spanish stall. So I do write to free my soul, but recently I have started freelancing projects for the Government of India under the Honorable Ministry of Social Justice. So basically I'm translating audiobooks for the blind by describing the pictures and graphs within it. But the artist inside me, it tries more for poetry. So if art is roasted out there, I must say poetry is its milk. And so thereby I would like to thank Ukiyoto Publishing House for granting me the honor to speak at this event. Thank you.
Ms. Kajuri. And so I'd like to ask you, what is it that I should talk about? Should I talk about my writing journey or the books? Okay, all right. So I'll do that. So I started very early. Actually, I was a school student. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So the books that I published with Ukiyoto are Durga, and then I have Saraswati. So it's a series of graphic novels that we are coming up with, and thanks to the team actually. The idea was not originally mine. I actually got the idea from the team, I'd say. So the credit goes to the team. And so to start with how I started with writing. I think I was in class 3 when I saw one of my classmates getting her poetry published in the Telekids. And that inspired me. I thought, why not me? Let me also try. So my father got me this email ID for the first time, and I started sending my poems to them. So Telekids didn't work out. Okay, none of my poems were published. But then I started sending to TTIS, and they published my poems. So after that, I started sending to Reader's Digest and Sahitya Academy because I got bored with TTIS. And I started experimenting with different formats of writing. So I've written a lot of different articles, whether it be non-fiction or short stories. But I think children's literature is something I never thought I'd try. Before something happened in the bachelor's degree. So I started sending out my write-ups to KIIT's magazine. It was led by Ruskin Bond, and over there my children's short story got published, and they also gave me an award for it. So I think that is when I thought, okay, children's literature is something, I'll give it a try. And without Team Ukiyoto, that wouldn't be possible, because it's very difficult to gain a child's attention with just text. So their graphic novels format is something which gave me this opportunity. And I started with Durga because I am now a research scholar at IIT Madras, so I hardly stay in West Bengal. So I wanted to bring Kolkata to me through my writing. So I started with Durga. Now we have launched Saraswati this year. Next year we will be launching Lakshmi. So this is the 3 Devi series. And let's see, the response has been good so far. All thanks to the team once again. So that is it from my part. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Shubho Boichitra. I think it's a great day for the opening of Boichitra, and I'm glad to be here and giving my little speech. So I would like to start with my debut book, Boichitra. So it's on Yoga Darshan. I'll go deeper into the book at first. So book's first chapter is on Jainism and Buddhism. Frankly speaking, I added the chapter much later on because I felt yoga without Jainism and Buddhism is very incomplete, because yoga is just not, concentrated to Hinduism. It has gone beyond any religion, since it's today also practiced by the Western world. So my first chapter starts with Jainism and Buddhism, followed by Dakshinamurti or Lord Shiva, known as the creator of yoga. There is no explicit text saying that, but this was utterly my interpretation of all the research done. Followed by a chapter on Sri Loknath Brahmachari. So I had put in the chapter as an example of how yoga can transform one into the transcendental yoga. This was followed by explanation of 5 kinds of yoga as we know today: Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. It's unfortunate, but in today's world, Hatha Yoga, which is the physical form of yoga, is widely known, even to the Western world. That's a very cliche idea that, okay, yoga is Hatha Yoga, that is the physical form of yoga. So through this book, my attempt has been to reach out to the younger generations. It's a very compact and concise book, and I just want to put this forward for this generation to give it a read and understand that yoga is just not limited to the physical practice, but there are a lot of different layers to it, I would say. So this explanation is followed by 2 other chapters: Yoga is Love and Ignorance to Awareness. These 2 chapters are absolutely my interpretation of all the research work that I've done. And last, the chapter named Perspectives focuses on people from different generations, starting from a 13-year-old kid to a 76-year-old woman. And it's their view on spirituality, on yoga, and on daily life, I would say. So that's basically a summary of what is in my book, chapter-wise, I would say. And so another thing I would like to mention, the idea of keeping the book concise was, I realized that there exists a lot of books, but and it's huge. So suppose you go to market and you find a book on Raja Yoga. That alone, that one book is a 500-page book. So I felt there was a need in the market for a concise book which actually conceptualizes all these components. So my initial draft was ready 6 months, initial 6 months, and later 1.5 years I had spent making illustrations. Those illustrations conceptualize each chapter. So there are a few books here. You may have a look at it. You may take it home, give it a good read. It's absolutely free of cost. And basically the illustrations was to conceptualize the chapter and for the readers to connect at a deeper level. For the readers to understand, okay, so because I feel visuals really attracts a lot of people. So I feel they would connect at a deeper level and they might be more interested. So the whole idea of the book is to keep it interesting, informative, and really concise. So it's a very small book. It's a 122 pages book. But also it talks about a very, very deep subject, that is philosophy, Yoga Darshan. So I would definitely say this was a very risky task for me. Being a debut author and opting for non-fiction, it's always always a very risky take. Since in fiction you can make a character fly or run, in non-fiction you can't do that. In non-fiction it's always the material is out there. You read, you research, you interpret, and there are people questioning it, right? So you have. So it's a very bold decision at my part that was, and I would really like to thank my family for instilling the spiritual lifestyle in me. My grandfather, he was a Karma Yogi. Karma Yogi, the prefix was given by the public itself. So he was an industrialist and a social worker. He has established a mandir in Calcutta back in the 90s of Joy Baba Loknath. So, I feel, we are not really very religious, but I would always say that they have followed a very spiritual lifestyle. My grandmother had provided me with a mantra back when I was 6 years old, and I've been chanting since then. So I feel meditation and chanting, that's a part of Raja Yoga. And that's also part of Hatha Yoga. With Hatha Yoga, just focuses more on physical practices of the yoga asanas. So I think meditation is something I've been practicing since I'm 6. So all these things, these have been instilled in me by my family. So I'm always very grateful to them for instilling these values in me and not really making me a very religious person, but making me a very spiritual person who actually questions, understands, interprets, and realizes. One story I would like to share, it's a little off context, but so I run a small non-profit organization known as Chitavas. So in one of my trips in a village, I met an artist. That artist, so basically through the non-profit, we uplift rural artisans and provide them with a platform where they can showcase their artwork, sell their artwork, maybe provide them with an e-commerce platform. So these are all the things we do. And I remember in one of my trips, I met this artist and I understood the true meaning of contentment. Contentment, which we learn in Eastern philosophy, something we learn from the Western philosophy. In Eastern philosophy, one of the greatest philosophers, Lord Sri Krishna, has taught us happiness is, beyond the external environment. It's a state of mind. And in Epicurean philosophy, it just teaches us how to attain happiness through mundane pleasures. So all Western, Eastern, every philosophy really focuses on this one part. And I've always read about these, but I never really understood it. But through my NGO work, one day I met this artist, and he taught me with a very real life example what the true meaning of contentment is. So he was very reluctant to sell his artworks in a city. Upon conversing with him, I realized that he was pursuing art for art's sake. He did not have a mindset of material gain from it. He was very focused to, I would say, attain ataraxia or ultimate tranquility. That's like peace, happiness. And that you receive from his artwork. So I would say, you don't need to follow a particular religion or a particular path. You can even follow your passion, follow it with deepest commitment, deepest devotion, aradhana, and and I think you can even attain happiness. The happiness that's a state of mind you can just attain just with everyday life, as Swami Vivekananda teaches us. He has taught a lot of yoga, but I think he personally really focuses on karma. It's a statement made by him. So we have the right to work, but not to the fruits thereof. I'm not sure I'm saying the statement correctly, but it just means that you have the right to do the work, but it's not necessary that you will get a fruitful result out of it. And that is what Nishkam Karma teaches us. Like, do the work, do your job, do the karma, wake up in the morning, go for the run. Doesn't mean you have to just get slim in a day. Or a very off-track example, but yeah, that is what I want to just put forward. Anyways, so I would really like to thank my family for putting this spiritual lifestyle in me, which has really helped me, following the path, writing this book, because this is an absolutely a very well-researched book on philosophy. So, with no experience on philosophy, it was a difficult task to do. But yes, I just want to maybe spread the message, grab a copy. It's a very compact book, and that might actually give you a wider perspective about yoga, not just Hatha Yoga, but what it actually is. And there are two messages I would like to end this speech with. Two interpretations that I put forward in the book. One is bhakti and love is directly proportional to each other. And another one is the ultimate goal of yoga is attainment of knowledge, and the ultimate knowledge is love. I think you guys need to grab a copy of Vishuddha Prema to understand this better. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here, I have a specific story with Kolkata and Boichitra and Ukiyoto particularly. 2021, if I'm not wrong, I was here walking through this door, first associated with Ukiyoto for their award ceremony. So we had a pre-meeting here. That's the first time I met with Ukiyoto, and today Ukiyoto again comes here and reopens themselves, and I'm again here. So this gives me a very special feeling, Throughout these years, they have been constantly supporting writers like me. Why I have been so personally associated with Ukiyoto and why I feel it to be a family, because today when I sit here and watch among the crowd, I find so many familiar faces coming together for Ukiyoto. That's kind of a family that we have created out of here, And one thing today on this occasion, on Akshaya Tritiya, they are reopening at Boichitra. So I take this opportunity to thank Ukiyoto for whatever they have given me. I remember it was when I got associated with Ukiyoto, I have already published my 2 books. But it was very difficult to enter Kolkata. I don't know why. Maybe I did not have connections, maybe I did not have proper acquaintances, but it was very, very difficult to enter Kolkata. I remember Ukiyoto giving me the first opportunity, and with them I have started working in Kolkata. In every month there's small meetups that they organize, or every time they come up with innovative things. And by that I get my work rolling, in particular in the huge city of Kolkata. That's why I feel very much attached to them, because by the time I have been to Delhi and other metropolitan cities, other parts of India, but I don't know why it was difficult for me to come here, but with the holding hands of Ukiyoto, I came here. When I came here, I met friends, for example, Ridhima, Tulika, and Srisha. We all became friends, in this journey of, we associated on a very professional basis at the very first, if not true to say that. But eventually all becoming family. Now whenever I come to Kolkata, I make sure that if I could meet Ridhima once, or I get to meet Tulika once if all of us are free. So this gives us that kind of a feeling. And I would round up my speech with a big thanks to Ukiyoto Publishing for giving writers such a space where they can challenge themselves, I remember they once I took part in one of the project that they have made. They had provided pictures of Durga Puja with several pictures that are hand drawn, and I had to make a story out of it. So it was quite a challenging task for me, but somehow I did it. So this kind of projects always inspires authors like us who wants to always not bring dal bhat to the plate, but sometimes biryani also. So thank you for bringing such innovative projects and supporting us. Thank you so much.
Ambition soars high, who believes in learning by doing and tries to keep them echoing. Ambition is like color, they say, but to me it is a colorful prey. Hunting the reader's mind is not a child's play. You butt or rebut, it's the reader's day. So, I have spread my books under your feet. Tread softly as you tread on my books. Good evening, Honorable Chief Guest, and respected ladies and gentlemen. I am Kajali Guha. Basically, I am a poet, a composer, and a translator. But Ukiyoto, that celebrates the literary talents and the creativity, has inspired me to write short stories. And now I am contributing to the short stories, to the anthologies that have been published by Ukiyoto. There is a long list of them, and I have tried to hone my skills as a short story writer. When you write a short story, you have to keep many things in your mind. It should have a plot, it should have some characters, and the complication goes on, then there is a climax, then there is a denouement, and everything, just like drama. So, you see that when I started writing short stories, so the topics have been offered to me by Ukiyoto. Just like we have been given a topic on Mahabharata, that we have to choose a character and we have to write about them. Based on them, a story should be there. I opted for Duryodhan. You see, Duryodhan nobody can think about because he is an evil-minded person. He has got an evil mindset. Though he has been invigorated or inspired, I won't use this word inspired, but rather he has been pushed to use wrong things and to tell about the wrongdoers and all that. That means his mindset was not very good, and he was pushed by his maternal uncle Shakuni. So it all started by the surrounding where he was brought up. So a child has to be, the child builds his personality according to the surroundings.
Received
And
567 rupees on Google Pay
story
for
highlights
business.
that topic, that point, and I have written Duryodhan with a twist in Yuddha Shastra. And I have told about a boy who was not born and brought up in a very good family. He was in the lower strata of the society, but how he had been able to change his surrounding and how he won the circumstances. Ukiyoto asked me to write inspirational stories, so I had tried to highlight that how he has been inspired by others and how he has just twisted his life. Again, you see, in Echoes of Ages, I have tried to highlight the void in an old woman's life. You see that life is not only eating, sleeping, making, and earning your livelihood. When you are just young, you are just very much busy to accumulate wealth and all the material things in your life. But once in a while, you feel situated, and especially in the old age, you feel that you are suffering from identity crisis. That has been highlighted in my story, and I think if you buy the book, then you would know more about it. And I have read one Sanskrit sloka in my when I was very young. Sahitya Sangeet Kala Vihina Sakshat Pashu Puchu Pishanahi. What does it mean? It means that a person who is not interested in literature, music, or fine arts, he is just like an animal with without a tail and horns. So when we are talking about animals, Ukiyoto offered us to write on the animal world. How the world would be if it is ruled by the animals. And the book is Born to Thrive. And there also I have tried to highlight the topic, that is animal Arcadia. So if you would like to know more about it, you have to buy the book. So that's all. Thank you for bearing with me.
Good evening, everyone. আমরা বলি আর আমার নাম সুমক, আমরা ফোকিং নাম একটা কালেক্টিভের সাথে যুক্ত। আমাদের মেনলি মিউজিকটা হচ্ছে সুফি অ্যান্ড ফোক মিউজিক, বাট ইন নিউ সাউন্ডস্কেপ। আজকে সেরকমই কিছু গান আপনাদের সামনে থাকবে। স্পেশাল থ্যাঙ্কস টু ইয়োটো ফর ইনভাইটিং আস। আশা করছি ভালো লাগবে। শুভ সন্ধ্যা সবাইকে আবার।
তা আমরা কি যাওয়ার আগে ফকির হয়ে চলে যাবো? হ্যাঁ,
সেটা মানিকারির দিক থেকে না হলো।
দাদা ফকির ইজ এ ভেরি ডোন্ট টেক ইট আদারওয়াইজ।
রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীত দিয়ে শুরু করলাম, এবার একটি লালন গীতি গাই। আমার ঘরের চাবি চাবি পরের হাতে রে, আমার ঘরের চাবি আমি কেমনে খুলিব সে ঘর, আমি কেমনে খুলিব সে ঘর, দেখব চোখেতে রে আমার ঘরের চাবি চাবি পরের হাতে রে, আমার ঘরের চাবি। আপন ঘরে বোঝাই সোনা, পরে করে লেনা লেনা রে, আমি হলাম জহনো আমি হলাম না পাহি দেখিতে রে, আমার ঘরের চাবি চাবি পরের হাতে রে, আমার ঘরের চাবি। রাজি হলে দারোয়ানি দ্বার খুলিয়া দিবে তিনি রে, রাজি হলে দারোয়ানি দ্বার খুলিয়া দিবে তিনি রে, তারে বা কইছিনি জানি, আমি তারে বা কইছিনি জানি, বেড়াই কুপথে রে, আমার ঘরের চাবি চাবি পরের হাতে রে, আমার ঘরের চাবি। মানুষতে আছে রে মন, যারে বলে মানুষ লালন বলে সে মন, কবির লালন বলে সে মন, না পাই রাখিতে রে, আমার ঘরের চাবি চাবি পরের হাতে রে, আমার ঘরের চাবি চাবি পরের হাতে রে, আমার ঘরের চাবি।